Hey everyone! With Warren Buffett recently being in the news, I thought this would be a great time to construct a portfolio using his portfolio and choosing what I think are his best 5 stocks. A little bit of stock inception, if you will. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, owns many companies outright. This includes companies such as Geico or Dairy Queen, and then he owns a few dozen more companies, but he only owns a partial share in them. So we can only pick from that latter list. So don't be complaining in the comments that I didn't put Tesla down as number 1. But these are ranked in order, so starting off with number 5, I would go with the old reliable Procter Gamble. Now we all know this consumer staples company for its cleaning supplies, paper products, toothpaste, diapers, and of course their food products such as Tide laundry detergent. But what you might not know is that PG used to be one of Buffett's big 4 positions when they effectively swapped the razor blade titan company Gillette for shares of Procter Gamble. Then in 2014, Buffett received Duracell batteries, as in the actual company, not just a pack of batteries, in exchange for Berkshire's shares in the company. Doing the transaction this way allowed for Buffett to save on taxes to own Duracell outright. While yes, the amount of shares of Procter & Gamble Berkshire owns has slowly been disappearing, only owning a modest $36 million worth at the time of this recording, that doesn't mean that Procter & Gamble is a bad stock. Keep in mind, Buffett really only first got into Procter & Gamble in 2005, initially because of Gillette, for swapping shares to avoid taxes. Berkshire has always been really clever on ways to save a buck or two with tax avoidance strategies, just one of the many reasons why Buffett is such a successful investor. Plus, Buffett sold out of Disney in the 1960s and McDonald's over 10 years ago, and both have actually returned compounded double-digit returns every year since then. So while yes, Buffett may be the GOAT, Buffett's goals and strategies and deals when investing/acquiring companies may be different than ours, so we can't just go based off what he's buying and selling all the time. Perhaps worrying about why Buffett is selling a position of ours isn't always the best idea. I've made a couple videos in the past explaining more about Procter & Gamble's business model if you want more information on this particular stock. Procter & Gamble hasn't missed a dividend payment since going public in the 1890s, and it has increased its dividend every year for the past 64 years, including already here in 2020. If you think about all the recessions this company has survived, and with so many companies already cutting dividends recently, it's nice to have a stable defensive stock like this, making this a true dividend king to buy and hold forever. Number 4 on the best Warren Buffett stocks is one that he's held since the early 2000s, and that is the wholesale retailer Costco. I'm sure most of you have heard of them before, as they run a membership-only warehouse, giving you access to buy in bulk at low prices, but not always necessarily the biggest name brands, which is quite different than most grocery store chains. Now, Buffett bought his initial shares for $28.62 a share all the way back then, giving him an over 900% return, not including dividends, which is considerably more than the S&P 500 return over that same time span of about 115%. Costco's revenues have exponentially been growing from $116 billion in 2015 to $152 billion by the end of last year. That's always what you want to see a company doing, is having those revenue numbers continue to go up and up. Its private label company, Kirkland, has also been bringing in many customers, having $39 billion worth of sales in 2018. That's about 27% of all Costco sales in general. And that has certainly caught the eye of Warren Buffett. He applauded Kirkland for being able to outsell one of his other large steak companies in Kraft Heinz. Although 70% of its stores are in the US, it's slowly expanding to China, with its first store opening there in 2019. That netted them an incredible 139,000 members to sign up on the very first day for membership. The membership club is the real secret to how Costco can make money. It's kind of like a recurring bill, such as rent or utilities, that members have to pay each year just to get into the store, ranging from $60 to $120, depending on the level of membership. Without this membership, you wouldn't even be able to shop there. One of Costco's VPs recently said that stay-at-home orders will decrease the amount of traffic at its stores. But have you actually ever stepped inside one of these Costco stores? Maybe a little less congestion in the aisles might actually be a good thing. Costco has food courts, traveling options, it sells gas, it sells electronics, it has a photo department, it has a pharmacy, it also even has an auto center. It's like having your own little mall, except that people actually still shop here. All this, and I haven't even talked about its amazing dividend, which has a 5-year growth rate of nearly 15%, and it's been raising it every year for the last 15 years consecutively. At just a 32% payout ratio, expect lots of dividend growth as well as capital appreciation. Okay, I know we're really busy making money here, but please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. These videos take a lot of time for me to research and edit, so the best way that you can show me some support is by showing me some love on those buttons, and that also helps me know that these are the type of videos that you want to see more of. Coming in at number 3 is one of Warren Buffett's stocks that I personally own and talk a lot about on this channel, and that would be Visa. And we all have those Visa cards, and we swipe away and we make everyday purchases with Visa cards. Visa operates the world's largest payments network, and they should only continue to benefit as there's more growth from cashless transactions and digital payments. Visa was first purchased by Berkshire Hathaway towards the end of 2011, and the stock has performed phenomenally since then, having an amazing 28.1% annualized return, including dividends. Though it may have a dividend yield of less than 1%, Visa has increased its dividend on average 20% in the last 5 years. It may be hurt here in the short term as just overall spending is down, especially in travel. Visa said that total transactions were down about 30% in March 2020. But these are the effects that are going to be felt all across the economy, so I have no doubt that Visa will be able to recover from this once we all go back to normal. But coming in at number 2 of Buffett's best stocks is none other than Apple, and notice how I don't even need to introduce most of these companies. You already know how great these companies are, and it's no wonder that Buffett is invested so heavily in them. There might be no stock that Buffett loves more than Apple. In his most recent CNBC interview, he said that Apple isn't just a stock that they own, it's their third business, right behind all their railroads and insurance companies that they own. He also went on to say that Apple is the best business in the world. Buffett began buying Apple in around 2016. And it is now the single largest holding, making up nearly 30% of its portfolio, or a modest $77 billion worth. Berkshire Hathaway owns nearly 6% of all shares outstanding for a company that has a market cap of $1.3 trillion. Apple has slowly begun to start shifting production of some of its AirPods to Vietnam in case the trade wars start yet again. Its more affordable iPhone SE should also be able to drive up some of its declining iPhone sales. Let's also not forget that Apple has plenty of cash on hand and is planning a massive share buyback program soon. Apple just has way too many streams of income to fail, whether it's the App Store, Apple Music, cloud services, the Apple Card, Apple TV, the whole wearable segment that they have, and let's not forget laptops and of course the iPhone. This is a company that will continue to generate cash almost as fast as the Federal Reserve and pay out dividends. And now for the number 1 position in our Warren Buffett-inspired portfolio. That would be none other than NRZ.
The stock market last year was down 6%, and you said that I would get a 7% return. You're lying. The stock market doesn't go up 7% every year, just like us.
Okay, no, just kidding. The real number 1 is Amazon. Now, this is a newer position in Buffett's portfolio. He first started stockpiling shares in 2019. Buffett is known for being a value investor. He acquires companies when he feels that they are on sale or that they are trading at attractive valuations. Now, that is something that Amazon hardly ever does. However, he is a huge fan of what Jeff Bezos has been able to do with this company, and it also has established a huge moat in the e-commerce space, even saying that he has been an idiot over the years for not buying Amazon shares because he couldn't see the potential all the way back then. Buffett continued to praise Bezos' dominance in both e-commerce and the cloud services. Amazon, of course, owns Amazon Web Services. Amazon is estimated to control about 38% of all US commerce, allowing them to control the retail ecosystem. They also have an impressive 150 million Prime members worldwide. Remember, membership programs, just like Costco has, is cash flow that you can, for the most part, continue to predict coming in and in and in. E-commerce is in demand now more than ever, and expect Amazon to use that moat it's been preparing for decades to reap in extra cash. Amazon might not pay a dividend, but I wouldn't complain too much when this is a company that has returned over 1,500% in just the past 10 years. Though Buffett may only own $1.2 billion worth of Amazon, the amount of shares he does own seems to be slowly rising. Maybe making up for lost time there, are we, Warren? So that's how our new portfolio, consisting of just Warren Buffett-inspired stocks, is going to look like. You got 5 very safe companies, very well diversified in many areas, and that includes Procter Gamble, Costco, Visa, Apple, and of course Amazon. There's many other Buffett stocks that could deserve an honorable mention. Let me know in the comments what you think those stocks should be, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.